Honorable viewers, I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel JRBD24. Today's topic is Don Juan, Canto 1 and 2, written by Lord Byron. You know that this poetry is a satire. Let's start. George Gordon, Lord Byron, 1788 to 1824, was one of the famous poets of English literature. His Don Juan is the most effective and vigorous satire in the English language. It is Byron's epic satire regarding political and economic conditions of the different countries of Europe. The hero, Don Juan, undertakes many adventures. The poem records 6 major adventures of its hero. It poems with a description of his childhood and his early love affair with Donna Julia, a married friend of his mother's. Don Juan, the son of Don George and Donna Inez, is the hero of the poem. Donna Inez, the mother of Don Juan and the wife of Don George, is a learned lady. She is famous for her knowledge. Her marriage with Don George is loveless. She is a learned but hypocritical lady. She manages a very personal syllabus for John's education that include some religious knowledge, instruction of morality and great classics. But his mother's desire becomes vain. His education becomes impractical. He is inspired by sexual passion. Don Inez manages to keep a warm communication with Julia, whose husband Don Alfonso is the subject of her secret love. Don George is the father of Don Juan. He has no great love for learning or the land. He quarrels with his wife seriously. Sometimes his wife tries to prove him mad but can't. Before the lawyers issue a divorce letter, he dies. Don Alfonso is the husband of Don Julia, who fell in love with John's mother. He is a man of 50. He has lost his physical charms and vitality. He cannot offer his wife the love and romanticism. He dictates John in the bedroom of his wife. He is not happy in conjugal life. He had a close relationship of love and affection with John's mother. Ines Don Julia is the heroine of the poem. She was married to an old man of 50. She is charming, 60 and 23. She is exploited by the old age of her husband. Her husband cannot fulfill her youthful desires, especially the sexual demand. So Julia is compelled to fall in love with Don Juan, a man of 60. Julia embarrasses John innocently in his childhood. Quote, man's love is of his life a thing apart. 'Tis women's whole existence. But with the passage of time, this innocent relationship turns into love, and then love changes into desire. She comes in contact with young Don Juan and searches for a fulfillment of her desire in him. She tries to control herself from the sexual desire, but she cannot. So she thinks that her love for John is pure, divine, bright, and platonic. Oh, love, thou art the very good of evil, for after all we cannot call thee devil. That was poet. After John was discovered in her bedroom, Julia was accused of love intrigue. This was bad manners in the eyes of the husband. She is to undergo some circumstances that will purify her again. But this could not resist her. John was leaving for European countries for an educational purpose, and Julia wrote her letter to him. She wrote, I love you, for this love have lost. She lost her honor, her truth in the devotion to the care of husband. But these to her are minor things. The most important is the memory of love that came from the company of Juan. It was more than truth, more than conjugal happiness, much more than the artificiality of the social life. After the Julius scandal, his mother sends him to a journey through Seas to reach Italy and other European territories to pass at least 4 years, which he accepts. He is made to move about in a ship seeking his fortune in some remote land. His ship is wrecked and he has to undergo great mental suffering in an open boat. Quote, Heidi was nature's bride, and no, not this Heidi was fashion's child, born where the sun shores strip light and scores even the keys. In his third adventure, Don Juan starts wooing with Heidi, the daughter of a Greek pirate. Heidi is a lovely female face of 17 who nursed John when he reached the unknown island. She is in search of real love. Heidi is free of all abuse. She is beautiful, and this beauty is the expression of nature's aesthetic charm. She is nature's bride, fashion child. She is youthful and lovely. On the island, Heidi shares her wild sensuousness with John. Heidi's father, Lamburu, is a Greek smuggler, pirate, and self-trader. She is conscious about her limitation too, as she knows that her father will share John to some self-dealers. Her suspicion comes true. Don Juan is sold by the father of Heidi as a slave in the open market in slavery. He is forced to live in Constantinople, where the Sultan's wife starts loving. He resists the emperor's advances of the Sultan's favorite wife. We see that, though sensuous, there is a tone of universal love in Julia's affection for Juan. Sometimes her morality awakes. She thinks of Juan as a mere friend with whom she shares everyday pleasure. Julia's letter to John at the end, Canto on, reveals her earnest love for him. In Julia's character, Byron criticized the conquest of sex. In the first canto of Don Juan, love is victimized by parental hypocrisy. John is a mere tool used by his mother to fulfill her immortal desire to bring a stigma on Julia's reputation. She becomes successful to bring about a separation between Alfonso and Julia. Love is haunted by parental narrowness. A spontaneous love affair is exposed in John Heidi relationship. Heidi is Nasser's bride, nursed in the best of Nasser. John falls in love with her almost as a gift of her attentive care after his arrival at the island. But he is not conscious of the enjoyment offered to him by Heidi. He is with Heidi what he was with Julia. He cannot utilize his experience that he acquired in his affair with Julia. At the time of love, it is obvious that Heidi forgot her Christian code of life. This is logical because she does not belong to a society like Julia. Don Juan is an uncommon hero of Byron. We see Julia's platonic love for Juan. She graced John innocently in his childhood, but with the passage of time, this innocent relationship turned into love, and then love changed into desire. She tried to control herself, but she could not resist herself. She believed that her love for John was pure, divine, and uncontaminated. Quote, such love is innocent and may exist between young person without any danger. A hand may pass and then a lip be kissed. Don Juan is a Byronic hero. He is the embodiment of pride, bravery, restlessness, wickedness, melancholy, cynicism, and freedom. Through the following lines, we can acquaint with Don Juan's nature. Through the hero Don Juan, we get the paradoxical nature of Byron. I want a hero, an uncommon want, when every year and month sends forth a new one. That's all about for the timing. Thanks for your patience sharing.